Here's the thing. I'm a sucker for a good love story. And even elementary school students know that the whole point of a romantic movie is the happily ever after that we don't get to see or even care to see because I want that cute, heartwarming ending stapled in my memory forever. What makes it more infuriating is that K-dramas take hours to complete. So I spend 12 to 20 hours of my life investing in these fictional characters that I've grown to love. I smile with them, cry with them, root for them, hoping it will all be worth it. And then someone, somewhere, decides it's best to split them apart or even assassinate one of them at the end of the drama. That's pure, unadulterated wickedness. And there should be laws that allow viewers, especially viewers of romantic dramas, to sue for emotional damage and trauma whenever such ridiculousness is doled out. I'm pissed all over again just thinking about it. Which is why in this video, I'll be discussing the 5 K-dramas that had me wishing I could wipe my memory with an iron sponge because of how miserable their endings were. Now, don't get me wrong. Every drama on this list is exceptional. Well, at least every part of it that doesn't include the dreadful endings. You can join the conversation by sharing your worst K-drama endings in the comment section. Oh, and if you're a K-drama lover like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I post awesome K-drama content that's sure to tickle your fancy. Starting out the list of the most atrocious endings in K-drama history is Scarlet Heart Ryo. Honestly, the ending of this drama isn't even worth talking about. And it's even more heartbreaking because this drama has everything. A fantastic plot, comedy, chemistry, romance, and typical to historical K-dramas, a complicated storyline. To make matters worse, this drama is 20 episodes long. That's over 20 hours of investing my emotions and cursing at the characters, only to discover that everything was a freaking dream. It felt like a punch to the lungs. Honestly, I'd have been less pissed if it ended with Haisu's death, because the ending made me feel like a bloody fool for investing so much emotion and bawling my eyeballs out during the sad moments. Enough said about the dream of a broke cosmetic employee. The second drama we'll be talking about is Gu Family Book, also known as Kang-chi. If I were to present an award for the most underwhelming K-drama ending, I'd give it to Kang-chi. Now, they tried to give us a poor excuse for a happy ending, but for a drama of over 24 episodes, that was underwhelming to say the least. What was that about having to wait hundreds of years to meet her in the future after she's been reborn? Honestly, this happens a lot in fantasy-themed K-dramas, especially dramas that involve relationships between humans and non-humans. I usually have one question. Does the other person even recognize you?
나를 알아요?
글쎄.
Or are you going to force a relationship on them just because you're still madly in love with who they were before they were reborn? And the most infuriating thing about dramas that end this way is that they don't show you what happens next. It's just a quiet meeting years later, blank stares and freaking cherry blossom trees. No hugs, no kisses, nothing. Even though I didn't intend to add it to the list, Goblin kind of falls under this category. Because if you've seen Goblin, you know that no couple in K-drama history went through as much pain, longing, and literal centuries of waiting as Kim Shin and Ji Yoon Tak. Their story was packed with heartbreak, fate, and sacrifice, the kind of love that should have had the most passionate reunion ever. So what was that tame reunion after years of waiting and longing for each other?
내 처음이자 마지막 도깨비 신부.
This lady was born with the memories of her previous life intact. Imagine how depressing it must have been to be an infant with the full memory of how you died and lost your true love in your previous life. Telling me that after searching for years and finally meeting him, it's enough to just stare at him? No groundbreaking hug, no running into each other's arms, no longing-filled kiss. Their ending should have been more passionate. Sure, it's implied their love story would continue from where they left off, but come on. After everything they went through, we deserve fireworks. The next drama promised sunshine and rainbows, but delivered tears and heartbreak. 25-21. This drama catfished us. Straight up. And I still haven't recovered. Emotionally, spiritually, mentally. What makes it so frustrating is that it starts off as a feel-good romance. The first few episodes, adorable, wholesome, hopeful. You start thinking, wow, this is going to be one of those nostalgic love stories that reminds me why youth dramas are so special. Wrong. It's making us fall for Na Hee-do and Bak Yi-jin, Two broken people who healed each other, supported each other, and built a relationship rooted in friendship, love, and respect. It was beautiful. It was hopeful. And then the ending came in like, yeah, no, they don't end up together.
너 때문에 사랑을 배웠고 이제 이별을 알게 되네.
네가 가르쳐준 사랑이 내 인생을 얼마나 빛나게 했는지 넌 모를 거야.
Excuse me? What was all that emotional investment for then? All that crying, hugging, and confessing. They made us believe we were building towards something that would last a lifetime, only to rip it away with a time skip and a wedding ring that belonged to someone else. And I get it. Realism, life happens, people drift apart. But this isn't a slice of life documentary. It's fiction, for goodness sake. We deserved a happy ending and not a dose of reality. Next up is Mr. Sunshine. This one had all the ingredients for a sweeping, epic love story. And unlike 2521, they actually warned us. It's historical, it's tragic, and everyone looked like they were one monologue away from dying for the motherland. But still, why did they make their love story so beautiful only to burn it all down at the end? Eugene Choi and Aishin were the definition of love against all odds. Different worlds, different loyalties, but the same heart. Every stolen glance, every "I'll protect you," every sacrifice. It screamed that love would conquer everything. And yet, when the final episode came, he dies. She lives. Everyone's crying. The world is on fire. The end. Why give us that kind of chemistry if you're just going to make it a war documentary at the end? If I wanted to be emotionally destroyed, I'd have watched The Handmaiden or something equally scarring. Finally, there's Love Alarm. This series had a modern, relatable premise and a love triangle that kept you guessing. And that right there was the problem, because the ending made absolutely zero sense. And it's frustrating because the ending wasn't sad. It was just painfully unsatisfying and downright annoying. At this point, I've realized something about myself. I don't need my K-dramas to be realistic. I need them to lie to me beautifully, give me fireworks, give me endings that make me believe the hours I spent binge watching were worth it. I already have reality outside my screen.
And sometimes it's just too much. It's just too stressful.
I watch K-dramas for the illusion of perfect love. So when these writers decide to get all philosophical and throw realism at me in the last episode, I take it personally. If you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe and drop a comment on what K-drama ending had you ripping out your hair in frustration.